you're going to take that same passion. And when we were talking earlier, we were talking about how women are underpaid. They're underpaid, and you talked about how you were a lawyer and then you got paid more as an executive assistant and then you became a
Yeah.
lawyer. I mean, just talk a little bit about that,
Yeah.
because you turned the trajectory of your situation.
Right. And I have to, and I'm gonna underline something else, is that I changed it straight ignorance on fire and really wanting to change my life in a positive direction. Let me tell you, I graduated college. I was working in Manhattan as an executive assistant for this in a French investment bank. I was making $50,000. I spent 3 years in law school, and my boss did not want to budge off 45. I was like, bruh, I'm gonna need you to meet me at least at 50, because for me to take a pay cut after law school, and I was
Wow.
$150,000 now in more
Mm,
debt. Come on now, like somebody's gonna have to do something about this, and he wouldn't.
right.
He gave me 47, so I was making $3,000 less. So I went ahead and started this Mary Kay business as a licensed attorney. I started my lipstick business, yes, and everybody was like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And this, and I'm like, "If y'all are cutting the checks for these bills, go ahead and tell me what you think. Unless you're doing that, I'm
Right.
gonna do what I'm gonna
That's
do."
right.
Okay,
That's
and
right.
so I started my direct sales business, and within a year, I had doubled my income. And this is with me not knowing what I was doing. And that's why I want to underline the whole ignorance on fire. I just got excited. I got excited. I
Mm.
started seeing women's paychecks, and I was like, oh, what? I started seeing cars. I started seeing people with diamonds and pumps, and these women were looking fabulous. I was like, I started chopping some heads off and putting mine there. Like, I can do this. And so that's
Right.
why when I decided to do the work that I do, I wanted other attorneys to get that. Listen, I ain't special. I'm you. You're me. I'm just a different form of the same energy that brews within you. So instead of reinventing a wheel, copy the right cat. I figured it out. And so I'm going to give you the same blueprint so you can now go create the same financial independence that I have, because I am going to tell you, and that's the conversation we were having earlier, Gloria.
Yes,
I
the money.
had
Right.
a mediation with a woman, and I was doing a dissolution of marriage for her, and she could not get out of this situation because she's, the money and what he's going to give in alimony, she won't be able to pay her rent. Listen, when it came down for me to walk out, I was like, look, it's been real, it's been great. Thank you for the services. I don't need alimony, I don't need child support, I don't need anything. I'm good. Wish you well. Let's split these kids. Let's take care of them well. That's it. And I feel like a woman should always have that choice, because women are staying in undesirable situations, whether it be in their relationships, in their work environment, in even
And
caring for
domestic violence.
children,
This is
domestic
Domestic Violence
violence,
Awareness Month.
but
And
even
so we talked
caring
about that.
for, situation, like for example, I've seen people get really drained financially because they have to take care of an elderly parent. How
Right.
amazing is that if you can just put a nurse on retainer? Like, I mean, come on, if you I love taking care of my kids in my house, but the cleaning lady, I'm billing at $4.50 an hour. I can't clean a toilet anymore. Like, there's stuff that you
Right.
got to be able to outsource so that you can live the best version of yourself, and that all takes money. And it's not about money being the money doesn't buy happiness. Yes, it does. It does, because with it you can do a lot of things that you wouldn't otherwise be able to do. You can go places that you wouldn't otherwise be able to go. You can avail yourself of trainings. I've traveled and done different workshops that have developed me as a person, because I'm my greatest asset. I understand that. So I've invested a lot in myself. But the reason why I can do that is because I have the disposable extra to do that. But once upon a time, don't be disillusioned. Once upon a time, I was was waking up in the middle of the night, refreshing that Bank of America to make sure that everything got covered. Once upon a time, I was at Ross trying to check out a couple power dresses, and I'm seeing the total, and I'm thinking, oh shit, is my card going to go through? Do I need to make a transfer? You know, it's not like I hadn't been there, but I took it upon myself to do a paradigm shift around money. And that's why in the beginning you said, what is it that these women need to do? They need to rewrite the story that they're living out of, because your paradigm, the money blueprint that you have, that you inherited from your environment. Listen, I grew up in the most impoverished country in the Western Hemisphere. If I did not switch, I can't create abundance without switching the mindset, right? Because all I've seen is poverty. All I've seen is scarcity. All I've seen is lack. You can't get a Word document as out of an Excel program. So if you want to have abundance, you got to have an abundance program. And in order to have an abundance program, you got to go put it in there. And you got to program it with books, with podcasts, with motivators, with coaches, with whatever. Jesus himself, the Bible, get your devotional, spend some time getting truth put into you versus the BS that society has fed you, that has gone generation and generation without being questioned. And that's where, and I hope I answered your question, because I kind of got excited. Yes. So yeah, that's